Okay, so presuming that you have watched some introductory videos explaining the science and spirituality of EFT tapping or emotional freedom techniques, and my discussion of the art of body prayer, Christian body prayer, or meditation if you're not Christian, I'm going to just teach you the first point. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your fingers from one hand, it doesn't matter, either hand, you're going to line up the fingertips. So the fingertips are lined up, okay? And the thumb is right up there with them. All 5 fingers right there. Can you do that? Put them together for me. You take the opposite hand, just like that, fingers together, extended, and you're going to tap. Not like this, not like this, not like this, right here on the karate chop point. See that? Karate chop point. Okay? You're tapping all 5 fingertips of one hand on that hand, the opposite hand. And this is like it's just hearkening back to your heartbeat. It's hearkening back to the drum beat of the universe, your soul, the pulse of life. But in this case, we're targeting it, and we're being specific because we are tapping on acupoints on the fingertips and also on the side of your hand that go to several of your internal organs. And this little rhythmic tap is telling your internal organs, as well as the hemispheres of your brain, because you're tapping from one side to the other. It's telling both hemispheres of your brain to connect and relax. It's saying, I'm safe. Okay? Now I'm going to give you a few words to say. So whenever I'm working with a new client, this is where we start. And what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to your body and your mind. Now you're going to say the words that I give you to say. You're going to repeat them after me. Okay? You're going to listen to how your body responds to this process, how it reacts to these words, as well as your mind. You're going to have an inner voice. We call it an inner critic sometimes. But there'll be an inner voice in you that says something about these words that I give you to say. As you say them out loud and you hear your own voice say them, you're going to have a reaction to them within yourself, or a response. And I want you to sense how true or not true these statements feel to you as you tap and say them. Because you're in a great place if you've been, working with me or listening to what I have to say, and then you come to this point to just learn the first point. The first point in the art of body prayer. Okay, we'll do 5 phrases. So deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Repeat the words that I say. Deep breath. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a moment, notice what your mind thought of that and what your body thought of that, okay? Deep breath, next phrase. In through your nose, out through your mouth. I choose now to love and accept myself. Sense it, feel it. What did your mind say to that? Okay, deep breath. Next phrase. I want to find a way to love and accept myself. Okay, notice it. Deep breath. Next phrase. I receive now the love and acceptance of my Savior, Jesus Christ. Notice it. Deep breath, last phrase. I receive now the love and acceptance of my higher power. Relax. Just take a personal inventory of which phrases felt the most true to you. When people come to counseling, the first phrase, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, is a benchmark. That's the goal. The goal is to love and accept yourself. That's where we all want to be. And so for many people, when they come to counseling, they come depressed, anxious, traumatized, victimized. And that's a very difficult phrase. And so they know right away that that does not feel true for them. The second phrase is more open. It's open to possibilities. I choose now to love and accept myself. It's even though kind of you may not have loved and accepted yourself deeply and completely in the past, maybe right now you could choose to start, to begin. And so it's more open, it can be easier. The third phrase for people who are depressed is the easiest of all of them. Tends to be one of the easiest. I want to find a way to love and accept myself. I want to find a way, acknowledging that you don't really feel it, but you want to. So that can feel very true for people. And people often start crying in this process. It often brings tears right to the surface. To know that we don't love ourselves. But to know the truth of it gives me a starting point to work with them. And then I receive the love and acceptance of my Savior, Jesus Christ. That can also be the easiest one for some people. They can't really love themselves or find a way because of everything that they've done or that's happened in their lives and that they feel about themselves. But they can accept love and acceptance from Jesus Christ. Unless you've had religious fanatics in your family that poisoned you to Christianity and poisoned you to Jesus, which is unfortunate because that's not who Jesus is. He's really worth getting to know if you can get away from the religious poison that's spread by so many people about him. But let's say if you're Christian, fine. If you're not, let's try the last one. I received the love and acceptance of my higher power. In other words, you're recognizing there's some higher power, some guiding force in the universe for good. And you can receive love and acceptance from that source, whatever it might be. So I've taught you the first point. And for many people, just that first experience is remarkable because they notice something. They learn that their body and their mind have a reaction to these ideas in a very physical way, in a very tangible way. That you can start to know and gauge the truth, a truth scale within yourself of how true or false a certain statement might be for you. And so that gives you this guidance and this benchmark for where I am and where I want to be. So that's the first point that I teach my clients, and that's the first point of EFT tapping, or the art of body prayer.